Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Once Upon a Time, Season 2, Episode 17. I'm back, and if I don't know how noticeable it's really going to be, aside from the slight change in camera angle, but I have a new webcam. I got kind of sick of some of the quality loss I started to get in the other webcam, and so I thought, you know what, while I'm on this sort of mini depression, insomnia-induced hiatus, I'm going to see if things change by getting another camera. I like how I can use this one effectively with OBS and not in its own program. It's nice to be able to record my audio with the cam at the same time, whereas before it seemed to desync it a little, so I had to record separately with Audacity so that I could then put them together afterward. But that hasn't been the case so far. It's been more convenient this way. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good so far. I'll have to see how it fares once it's been through all of the file conversion and processing, and then the editing process and stuff like that. But one thing I really like about this cam is it's not automatically trying to adjust the light anymore. I couldn't really find a way to fully turn off the flickering in the previous one, but with this one I actually am able to uncheck a box that's to do with auto correcting the balance. So now, no matter what I do in front of the camera, the reds of my posters aren't flickering on and off and changing the colour of everything. I've completely gotten rid of that, so that's already a massive improvement. Yeah, I've been a little bit slow with the content lately. Part of it's been due to getting some improvements around here. Like, I've got a new computer chair because the old one started to fall apart. I've got the new webcam. I've been messing around with my drawing tablet. Obvious things that were received over the holiday period and my birthday that I hadn't gotten a chance to try it. I was sort of diving into them. But I've got my head back in the game, I'd say. I'm ready to give the YouTube stuff another crack. I just needed a mental health break, like we all do sometimes, and I'm back. What a cliffhanger we left on last time for Once Upon a Time, by the way. That's a doozy. Mary Margaret gave in. She manipulated Regina, which ended in Cora's death. That at first I wasn't even sure if I believed it, because somebody as hyped up as Cora, and with as much as we've gotten to know Cora and how much of an influence Cora was in Regina's life, I thought she was one of those mainstay characters. I didn't think she was going anywhere through death or otherwise. So that really shocked me. That's why I was so convinced that Mary Margaret was somehow going to be stopped, and that they'd figure out a non-lethal way of stopping Cora. But no, she got her killed. She said she was going to, and she did it. And that's A+ on task completion. But she, of course, being the pure soul that she is, she immediately regretted what she'd done, and she was too late to stop it, which is called consequences of actions. And now there's hell to pay in the form of Regina's wrath. Though I'm sure in time she will come to see why that step was taken, and that her mother kind of deserved to die in the sense of good and evil. But this will take a lot of time to sink in, and like I say, their relationship will be at the rock bottom right now, because like I said, if she hated her before, being responsible for tricking her for killing her own mother that she was trying to win the approval of, yeah, that's it. You've just dug a hole all the way down to Australia. Like, it's going to take some time, and I respect that. I hope that the writing respects that. I'm looking forward to the journey it's going to push both Regina and Mary Margaret on. Juicy, juicy drama, eh? Yeah, but the only reason that I'm confident this is a permanent thing is that a lot of people in the comments were saying, oh, I'm glad that she killed her, I'm glad that this, oh, she deserved it, blah, blah, blah. That basically confirms through language that this is going to stick, so F for Cora, I guess. Like, that wasn't the way I pictured her going out at all, but hey, it happened. So I guess she has no more role to play in this, and now it's going to be Regina snowballing the consequences of this forward. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I don't have anything much else to say, other than I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to jump into the next episode. Okay, as I said, we left off with another one of those masterpiece Once Upon a Time scenes. The raw darkness, drama and emotion between not just the characters, but the actresses portraying the characters was phenomenal there. That felt so oppressive of a scene. The subject matter, like the character arcs coming to where they were, the specific context within the story, like what a dramatic turn in the shift of power. Like, oh my goodness. Like, Mary Margaret's so consumed with guilt that this little dark patch in her heart is causing her. She wants to be put out of her misery, and that's music to Regina's ears, because she's like, well, this works out perfectly, because I don't have to upset Henry by killing you. You're ruining yourself. I can just let this happen. Wow, okay. I'm really glad they put me out of my misery with my confusion over who Owen was ultimately supposed to be. I had a feeling that showing us Kid Owen meant that the guy we saw popping in and out was adult Owen, but the thing is, I hadn't seen Owen out of hospital robes enough to fully recognize it was him. I think seeing him in ordinary clothes completely erased what I thought I knew the hospital guy looked like. So now I know they are one in the same, and everything is a lot clearer now. Obviously, he was discharged, and that's why when he came into the cafe, it was like, oh, I think I like it around here. That kind of thing, like pretending everything was all fine and comfortable. I completely get it. Okay, I'm all up to speed now that it was confirmed. I can perfectly recontextualize a lot of the scenes that I saw in this episode, and it's absolutely fine. No need to clear anything up. I just assumed he was still at the hospital, you know, in the context of having crashed. Like, okay, so that would be why he was on his way back in. Because he knew it was here, and so now he's old enough to drive. He was on his way, and he just happened to crash. I wonder if that's part of the curse. You know, well, obviously the curse is gone now, but it just seems to be some sort of bad luck, bad mojo about the place that new arrivals end up crashing. Because they initially crashed when they came in and had to get their car repaired, and then he crashed when he returned. And Emma crashed on the day that she arrived. So there's some kind of bad mojo going on with people crashing. But no, in all seriousness, what an episode. There were plenty of those great, intense character-to-character interactions and developments. But I really loved all of the conversations that Gold had, both in his favour and against his favour. Like, he's such a master of conversation. I love any scene that Robert Carlyle is in, because the way his dialogue flows is always fantastic. He made an excellent point to Regina about the emptiness of revenge. Like, now, this is going to keep going and you're never going to be satisfied. Why don't you just cut your losses and save everyone the trouble? And then he was also given a good point of, you've literally just had your life saved. The least you can do is protect this life, because she was the one that you convinced to help. So that was cool as well. And he did stay true to his word. He was the last line of defense when Regina tried to come and assassinate Mary Margaret in bed, like, because she knew no one else was home. Like, no, I don't think so. I'm still here, Missy. but I tell you what, that climax right there, and I thought she was going to keep Mary Margaret's heart and just like, what? Just watch it. Like, oh, I'm just going to see as it gets blacker over time. But no, I guess you are different with your heart removed, I guess. So it's best to put it back in. And I like how Regina said, like, now you're on a path. And all that's left for me to do is get some popcorn out and watch you descend down it. So I think it's going to be up to Mary Margaret to defy this and not go as far down the path as Regina thinks she will. Or we're going to go completely original and she is going to get more and more and more twisted. And she might end up being a worse monster. We don't know. Or at least you guys do, the people who have seen this show a million times already, but it's fun to consider for people like me who are watching this for the very first time and know nothing. Excellent stuff. This was a cracking episode to come back to. Very engaging, very interesting. As usual, fantastically paced. I was so drawn in throughout. And like I said, that emotional climax between Regina and Mary Margaret, where she's tearfully begging to be killed, that was so heavy. That was so heavy. I love the tasteful way this show tackles heavy subjects. And that, I feel, was the perfect way to have that conversation, especially how it turned all twisted with Regina being like, I'm just gonna watch this train wreck happen. Like, you've literally just gave me every reason in the world to keep you alive. You're suffering. That pleases me. Like, that's as simple as it gets. And it makes so much sense. Wow. Honestly, can season 2 get any better? I mean, my friend Atticus says season 4 is when it really takes off. So it blows my mind to even think that, because what I've seen so far has already made this one of my favourite live-action series of all time. And that was a while back. The excellence has just continued. So, yeah, super excited to watch the next episode. But until then, I shall see you guys next time.